Welcome back, everyone. No car cam today. Wasn't really feeling it, so I thought I'd just get straight down to it. So, as per usual, warm up with some little half swings with a lob wedge. Get loose, get rid of the crappy balls out of the bucket. Always try and find the ones that are cracked or got no dimples on them or whatever. The theme for today was I put out a playing video the other day, and Stu, my coach, Stu Cartwright, Intelligent Golf Performance, I asked him the question, after seeing that, what do you think I need to work on? There were some other questions I asked, which I might talk about later on. So he basically said more external rotation of the forearms, and he's got a video on that I'll link to down below. But essentially, the way I feel it or kind of think about it is your left arm is higher than your right arm in the backswing, and you're basically turning a steering wheel almost to the right as you go back. There's way more to it than that, and Stu explains it properly and well. But you'll see how I perceive it and the sort of drills I do to get going in a bit. Onto pitching wedge. So you can see that backswing. I've got a mirror behind me in this bay, so that's why I'm looking backwards. So I'm just trying to get that left arm above the right. That's how I feel it. And you see here, rotating. Imagine a plate in your hands or something in your hands. Just imagine rotating it back. Feels super weird. Feels really restrictive. Which actually isn't a bad thing for me. I can get all sorts of long at the top. You can get huge shoulder turns, big arm run on, which I don't think does me any good. If you look at Stu's swing in his videos, it's especially noticeable with the driver. You can see he's so compact and tight and connected. It's certainly something I kind of aspire to. Rear foot slipping backwards there again. Struggle with golf shoes. When I stopped playing 6 years ago, shoes had spikes in them, and now I've come back. I've got these ones that have got moulded spikes, and the amount I wear them, they just wear out super quick. So go back to some proper spikes at some point and stop that rear foot going backwards. Onto the 7-iron. Got my PRGR swing speed radar there. It's pretty good for clubhead speed, pretty good for ball speed, makes up the number for carry, so I ignore that. But some guys have tested it against TrackMan and it's spot on. So I'm pretty sure that having targets for this sort of thing is not right, or I don't know. I use the men's PGA Tour averages as a target, which is 120, 90 mile an hour clubhead, 120 ball speed for a 7-iron. And if I do that, I know I'm doing okay. As I said before, 48-year-old desk office worker. I do what I can in the gym, but I'm not the world's best athlete. So just kind of alternating a bit of drill on the backswing, and some shots, just trying to have that feeling of rotating the left arm higher than the right, and that for me seems to take care of what I think the right arm should do. Still flying out a little bit there, so maybe not the perfect feel going forward, but it's certainly got me to a place where I was hitting the ball nicely. So the other thing that I did ask Stu about was the pressure through the left foot in transition. I basically said, can you do it too much? Is there such a thing as too hard or too fast with the left leg? My thoughts being no, as long as the shoulders and arms keep up. I think that the answer to that was basically no, you can't do it too fast, but you'll run into some resistance elsewhere. Yeah, so interesting when you're doing drills and you've got things in your head, the odd bad shot creeps in. So what I like to do is just do the drills, take the shots, not worry about ball flight at all, and then as you get further into the session, try and reduce the amount of thought. The problem with doing that is that quite often you can be doing drills and then, the next two shots it looks like you've listened to your drill and you've got some of that into the swing. As soon as you stop thinking, you just immediately revert back to what you're doing. So these sorts of things you need to do a lot of, not necessarily hitting balls. A lot of my golf improvement has come from doing drills indoors, things with the TheraBand, things with Swiss ball, waiting for your toast to pop up in the toaster, just feeling what your backswing feels like with the weight in your right heel and that sort of thing. So even though I do go to the range often, I don't necessarily think that you have to do it. Certainly not at the level that we're talking about here, single figures, trying to get to lower single figures. My target for the year, I'd love to get down to 5. That gets me in like most of the away comps that I'd like to play, and it's a similar sort of improvement that I got last year as well. I think my highest index was 14.1 and my lowest was 8.1. So going from 8 down to 5, or high 4 points would be good. So yeah, just doing the drill, trying to rotate back and then just pushing hard into that left heel. I think I've got a bit of mobility issue with my left hip. Certainly doing some stretching. I'm reluctant to open my left foot a bunch at address because it kind of messes with my lining up and looks a bit weird, and I'm not sure what it'll do to my backswing, so I kind of keep it flared out a little bit. But you can see once I get up on my heel, I've got basically no traction and it just spins around. I think if I stay in balance, then that's not too big a problem. So this part, if the other thing that I was working on last week that really got my ball flight straightened out was cupping my left wrist at the top, or keeping the cup in my wrist all the way up. This rotation of the forearms really makes me flatten my wrist out, and the two seem kind of difficult to do at once. I managed it there. That was a decent shot, but it's definitely something that needs, I think I'm going to be doing this for a long while, a few months at least. Onto the driver then. Quite often feel that I can have a feeling that works real well with the irons and then just makes a mess with the driver. I'm obviously doing something different, and I think that a driver swing possibly is a little bit different to the iron swing for some reasons, but I tried to whack the first one. Now I read a thing the other day, and I've seen it a couple of times before, where amateurs, I don't like it when people use that word because it always seems so derogatory, but let's say people that don't break par tend to swing hard at the short end of the club, short end of the bag, and soft at the long end of the bag, which is the wrong way round. Those that break par hit their wedges soft and their driver hard. So, I try and hit my driver hard, but I think there's a point where it just makes it bad. So as hard as you can whilst maintaining good smash, I guess, is the answer. So checking the club face out of the middle, checking the PRGR 1.5 smash, and it feels like I'm not swinging hard at it, but I guess that's largely a backswing feel. So I'm feeling the rotation in the back and then just pushing hard off my left foot. Everything else feels to me like it's going along for the ride, and I know very much that it's not. That I'm clearly pulling the handle, I'm clearly rotating the shoulders to keep up with what the foot is doing to the pelvis. So these are going all right. I really feel like I'm getting up on that left side. If you saw my previous practice video, that was something I was really concerned with. I'm actually less concerned about it now, the rear foot staying flat after watching Phil Mickelson swinging very similar to that. It didn't seem to be doing him any harm. But yeah, so getting up, posting up on that left leg, I guess it used to be called. And the drivers are all going okay. I think that one was close to going over the fence, so I was watching it. I was super pleased with how the irons and the driver went. Planning a competition tomorrow, so keen to not get too much stuff in my head. I feel that it's a really simple thing to think about, and just the feeling actually feels so much more powerful through the ball. It feels like you're really letting go. So good session, good advice as always from Stu. Can't go wrong. I need to ask him more questions. So yeah, a few sand wedges to finish. Got the swing speed thing down there, not really taking much notice of it, to be honest, but what I'm really focusing on here is making these short versions of a full shot, rather than anything fancy or a different setup. It's something I've been thinking about a little bit. I can hit like the real hard spinny ones if I change my setup, but just like more regular shots, mid-flight, roll-out sort of things is probably a little bit more reliable and a little bit less high tariff. So yeah, just messing about with strike. Similar length swings, similar speed back through, but just varying what I do kind of with my right hand to vary how the ball comes out. I hope you found that interesting, useful. Let me know if you're working on anything similar, if you've been watching Stu's videos and how you're getting on. If you haven't been watching them, the link's down below. You need to do yourself a favour and get involved with Stu's coaching. It's been an absolute game changer for me. Hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.